Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Iron Mama 5. And Iron Mama 5 writes to ask, what are the consequences of a spirit not crossing over after death? And she goes on to ask, if a person holds on to the spirit of their loved one so that they cannot cross over, does this harm them or the loved one? And my answer to this is yes, it is not a good thing to do that, and arguably it does harm both yourself and the loved one, potentially. However, I think the question is actually grounded in a misunderstanding of what we mean by crossing over. And that misunderstanding is perfectly natural because there are other schools of thought that teach that if a spirit does cross over, it will have nothing further to do with the living. This is not the point of view that I come from, it is not what I was taught, and it's not what I've experienced. I have found that when the soul crosses over after dying, it becomes an ancestor or a spirit, and certainly still may be very much interested in their loved ones still in the physical world, can certainly have a lot of interaction with them. But the difference between one who has and has not crossed over is that the one who has crossed over has left behind many burdens, and you'll be effectively dealing with their higher self. And many things which afflicted them they will have released, whereas if they have not crossed over, it's usually because they're caught in pain or regret or various other emotional problems that are holding them back or holding part of them back. And this is not desirable. You want to help them to let go of these things and to cross over because it's really very healing for them and very positive for them. And it's good for you too because it does not mean that you lose the opportunity to have them around you or to have contact with you. It doesn't mean that at all. Rather, they will be around you as a spirit which is in a more liberated state. And people work with their ancestors and their spirit guides all the time. There are a lot of different ways that you can do this, and we've talked about it in other vlogs. You also can find discussions of it in my degree books. And perhaps we'll even make another vlog about that, but right now we're talking more about what it means in and of itself. It is certainly not an end of your relationship with them. That relationship is always there, and if you call upon them, they will hear you. If you talk to them, they will hear you. And if you're able to receive their messages, they will talk to you. And I have very good relationships with my ancestors and know many other people who do as well. The fact that they've crossed over in no way impedes that. Rather, when a spirit has not crossed over, again, it's caught between the worlds. It's not in a good place. So certainly you want to help the spirit of your loved one to cross over, and you certainly should not assume that that means an end to the communication. Now, if you do assume it means an end to the communication, then it might, because you would no longer be open to receiving it. So people in those other disciplines who hold that point of view probably do find that experience because it's the experience they expect. And we certainly can censor the communications we receive to the point of not receiving them at all. But as long as you're open to the communication and you pursue it once they've crossed over, they can be every bit as communicative as they would be otherwise, and in fact rather more so. And you'll find they'll have a much better point of view having crossed over versus not having crossed over. So basically crossing over is a win-win situation for both of you, for your loved one who is now in spirit and for the person who is still here in the physical, because it will actually improve the relationship as long as you continue to pursue it. So those would be my thoughts on the matter. I hope you find them helpful, and until next time, may you blessed be. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis, and did you know that I'm also a psychic reader? For over 30 years, I have been a psychic reader specializing in tarot and clairvoyance, and if you would like a reading with me, you can set one up, either by phone or by email, by contacting me at donlewishp@aol.com. And until next time, may you blessed be.